Wassup YouTube, PokePrimer here, primed and ready to deliver you our Week 2 Team Builder here in the NPBF Season 12. Last week we took on Nate and his bug team, the Delaware Pelipers, and we picked up a big 6-0 on the back of Volcanion. Just kind of came in and did what Volcanion does to bugs. Just roasted them all, which was really, really great. There was an unfortunate crit that kind of probably cost us some differential on his Buzzwole, but if you want to see all about what took place in that match, please go back and check it out, because it was a really good one. I had a good time with that one. But this week, we have our first beneficial type matchup this season. However, the way he has his team built is, I don't think it really matters. Mostly because of the fact that, yeah, we're not safe. We're not very safe against this team. We are facing Gavino and the Venice Beach Victinis, and they are the mono ground team. Which you would think in your mind is just like, well, alright, you get a free win. And I would hope that that is the case once the match is all said and done. However, I don't have as much confidence as I feel like I should. And looking at his team, you'll see why. So you can see the team down below me here, but his team consists of Landorus Incarnate, Zygarde 50%, Gliscor, Gastrodon, Nidoking, Hippowdon, Diggersby, Dugtrio, Golem, Tapu Koko, Mandibuzz, and Mega Garchomp. So, yeah, that's a squad. Alright, so a couple big issues. Obviously, he has the Hippowdon, which will be trying to counter our rain, and try to keep our rain off the field, while we have to consistently try to keep his sand off the field, which is going to be a fucking pain in the ass. Oh my god, is it gonna suck. I hate Weather Wars. I fucking hate Weather Wars. They are such a pain. But the key thing here, though, is I feel like, and you'll see in our prep, the main focus is going to be keeping his sand off the field, because he has absolute monsters like Landorus Incarnate and Mega Garchomp, who, with their Sand Force abilities, will just be wreaking havoc on our team. And we cannot have that. We cannot have that instance taking place. We cannot have that being a thing. So we're going to have to try really, really hard to keep his sand, like, shut down completely. Thankfully, he has no Sand Rush users. So as long as we can, as long as we have things that have the speed advantage, or you know, we can keep up at least some form of momentum that way. But aside from that, it's going to be a tough matchup. He's got the Mandibuzz, which is incredibly bulky and is going to be so annoying to try to break through. That's going to take a lot of effort to beat down, I'm sure. He has the Koko, which, fun fact, beats whatever I want to bring. If he brings Scarf Koko, one would outspeed our Swift Swimmers. I believe he outspeeds both of our Swift Swimmers. I didn't calc Kingdra. I know he outspeeds Mega Swampert 100%, because Mega Swampert had to run like Jolly near max speed to outspeed like a Scarfed 108 last week. So I very well could see it being the case where he outspeeds Kingdra as well. Let me run that calc really quick. Throw the rain up there. Scarf Timid Koko hits 591. Timid Kingdra, yeah, Scarf Timid Koko outspeeds Kingdra by 1 point in rain. So both of our Swift Swim setters get dunked on by Koko, which really sucks. So our Swift Swimmers are not safe. It's pretty much Koko is force prep on our part, as well, which is very unfortunate. And then he also has the Gastrodon, which I know, I let him have it. I told him straight up, yes, you can have Gastrodon. I should have not allowed that to happen. I should have double-crossed him and taken Gastrodon at some point. But he could have then just got something like Seismitoad or Quagsire anyway. So it didn't really matter. Excuse me. And I wasn't going to grab every single water ground type that had an immunity to water off the board. That just wasn't going to be a thing I was going to do. So, unfortunately, he does have that, though, which makes, which, again, has forced a lot of our movesets to be, you know, specifically the way that they are. Other than that, he's got, you know, Gliscor can be annoying, but we have ways of beating it. Nidoking is annoying depending on the kind of set that he is. We have definite ways of breaking that thing. If he's not Scarfed Nidoking, I think we'll be fine. And he can only run 2 Scarfers, so, like, I think Coco's definitely going to be run Scarfed. He kind of has to. And then I can see maybe a Scarf on I can see, like, Life Orb on Landorus as a thing as well. So maybe he could be Scarf Nidoking. We'll see how that goes. Diggersby is one of the things that actually threatens me the most. Life Orb Diggersby kind of just 2 KOs everything on my team. So I don't have a switch in to Diggersby at all. Especially because it can run Thunder Punch. So I just don't have a Diggersby switch in. Yeah. So Toby decides not to bring Diggersby. Dugtrio with Arena Trap could be very annoying, but I'm not stressing it too much, and I don't think Golem's coming. So if I had to predict what he was going to bring, I think Coco is a must. I think Mandibuzz is definitely coming. I think Hippo's coming for sure. Mega Garchomp, I can... I don't know if he brings both Sand Force users. I think either Mega Garchomp or Landorus. And I think maybe Nidoking comes. And last lot I'm kind of iffy on. But regardless, it's going to be a lot tougher of a matchup than I think it should be. But I'm doing the best that I can to hopefully have good enough prep to beat him. Hopefully we'll be able to pull it off. We're going to have to play really, really solid because, like, you can think these beneficial matchups are great, but sometimes just, like, 1 or 2 mons in your opponent's team completely turn the tide and make it so, like, it's immediately even, you know? So, first thing we're bringing is going to be Toilet the Pelipper with the Damp Rock and the Drizzle ability. We are running fully physically defensive with a relaxed nature, Scald, Ice Beam, Roost, and U-Turn. Now, the reason why I'm relaxed and only have 9 speed IVs is because I can very well see Hippowdon being the lead, trying to counter a Pelipper lead, right? And in doing so, you know, I lead Pelipper, right, to get my rain up. He leads Hippo. Hippo's typically very much slower than Pelipper, so Hippo would get its sand up, and, you know, it would cancel out my rain, right, because it goes by speed stat. So this way we counter the Hippo lead by making sure our rain comes up in the end, which is really good. Something you can proceed to just Ice Beam or U-turn out of there, predicting the Gastrodon to come in, because Gastrodon will be there 100% of the time. There's no debate. So, and then we can appropriately handle his team that way. So I think that could be really, really good for us. If it works out, I would be really, really happy. If not, it doesn't really matter because we don't need the speed on Pelipper. Pelipper is literally just here, one, because it's physically bulky and it can tank a bunch of hits from a majority of his team. It also helps that Zygarde is forced to not be able to run 1,000 arrows. So, with Zygarde not having 1,000 arrows, this thing can be a Zygarde switch-in as well. Forces Zygarde to click something like Outrage or whatnot. So, that's good for us. You know, it gives us a nice ground immunity for his team, which is good. And then, you know, just being very fat. And it's literally just here to keep sand off the field, so that Landorus and or Mega Garchomp can't just continuously come in and wreck our shit, which is the entire purpose of Pelipper. Ice Beam gives us something that we can at least click to get some damage on Gastrodon if it's coming in, because obviously we can't just click Scald for free until Gastrodon's dead, which is going to be a very prominent goal for this matchup, to say the very least. But there's really not much to say about Pelipper. It's literally just here this week to keep sand off the field. You're not bringing any of our Swift Swim users at all. So yeah, that's what we're doing here. Next up, we have Lamp the Lantern, who is absolutely essential because of the simple fact that he has Tapu Koko. This is our only way of stopping Koko from just completely ransacking our entire squad. I have my notes again. I have my notes, my notepad. It's right here. So we are running 248 HP, 108 defense with a bold nature, and 152 in def. Scald, Ice Beam, Protect, and Heal Bell. Protect is to stall out sand turns. You know, if Pelipper goes down or something, we have at least a way of getting the sand turns down. Shukaberry plus our defensive investments pretty much allows us to live any one ground-type move from anything on the team, in a lot of cases taking under half from it, and then we can hit them back either with Scald or Ice Beam to hit them with a decent amount of damage. A couple notable examples, we take under half from Zygarde EQ, we live a Life Orb, Diggersby EQ after Rocks, all kind of stuff like that. Even a sand-boosted, even Sand Force boosted Earth Power from Landorus / EQ from Garchomp. We live those, at least one, and we can hit the back with Ice Beam. And the Spadef lets us take under half from Specs Koko on everything. Specs Koko cannot 2-hit KO us, which is really good. Because I think Specs Koko could come, and if it doesn't, then Lantern's an even better switching to it. I almost ran Rocky Helmet, but because of the simple fact that because of the simple fact that, you know, we're facing the monoground team, that makes, at least Shukaberry allows us to keep Lantern around for a little bit longer. Give me 1 second, I'll be right back. Sorry about that. That was very uncomfortable and very horrible, and I am in pain. That was not fun. But yeah. So stuff and things. Anyway, I think we pretty much covered everything on Lantern. Heal Bell also, because I can see Gastrodon spreading some status on our team. Same as Hippo, you know, trying to spread Toxics around. So being able to get rid of those is going to be clutch. Gavino doesn't have a Cleric on his team, so hopefully that will benefit us. Hopefully we'll be able to spread some Toxics around his team and really, really mess him up. Aside from Gliscor, we can really whittle down a lot of members of his team, and Nidoking, of course. We can really whittle his team down a lot with that. Next up, we have the debut this season. The rest of these mons are going to be debuts, by the way. We're debuting 4 mons this week, which is super hype. The debut of Waterclef the Vaporeon, holding the leftovers with the Water Absorb ability. Wish, Ice Beam, Toxic, and Flip Turn. 252 HP, 204 defense with a bold nature, and 52 in special defense. So, the Spadef prevents Nidoking from 2-hit KOing us with anything besides T-Bolt. It's literally exactly perfect for everything that's not T-Bolt. I think Sludge Wave hits like 49.7% max. So if he ain't clicking T-Bolt, then we're safe with Vaporeon against it. The defense prevents Mega Chomp from being able to 2 KO us without Sand. Nothing it can do can 2 KO us. Earthquake is a guaranteed 3 KO, I believe. And with how we will be playing this as best as we can, Sand won't be on the field for very long, too often. So that's pretty much where we're at. I decided to run Ice Beam instead of running like Scald or something like that because of the simple fact that this at least gives us a way to hit Gastrodon on switch-ins. We also have the Toxic to throw on Gastro, which I think is going to be important. Ice Beam also hits 99% of his team super effectively. The literal only thing that isn't hit super effectively by Ice Beam is Tapu Koko, which so that works out really nicely. And like I always tend to forget that fucking Vaporeon has a base 110 fucking special attack stat, which is kind of wild to me. But yeah, we're gonna be you know firing off Ice Beams. Hopefully, maybe pick up a KO or two. But this is just to get the extra chip damage on Gastro. And this thing is going to be our main Toxic spreader. We're just going to be cooking Toxic a shit ton against this team. And hopefully we will be wearing them down significantly. As many as we can get off is better. And then of course we have Flip Turn, because if we're in against anything that's not Gastro, and he recognizes that we don't, and he might, you know, see that we don't have any Water Stab. If we can get a Wish off, we'll have a slow Flip Turn against like 90% of his team. I think there's only a couple things that... There's only a couple mons that we're faster than. Being like Golem, if he's running no speed, Hippo, and Gastrodon are the only three that we're slower than, or faster than. Other than that, we'll be getting slow flip turns off against things, which will be nice. Spreading our wishes around our team. This is our way. We're going to be keeping... Toilet has Roost, but we're also going to be trying to pass wishes to it, as well as Lamp with the, being able to tank hits the Shuka Berry. We're going to be able to... We're going to have to heal him up at some point. Yeah. This thing, I'm hopeful, is just going to be able to come in a bunch, take some hits, be able to wish up and spread some shit around. That's pretty much the goal with Vape this week. Hopefully it will be effective. Next mon we're bringing is the debut of Swab the Whimsicott. Holding the leftovers with the Prankster ability. Giga Drain, Moonblast, Defog, U-Turn, 248 HP, 52 special attack, 72 special defense, and 136 in speed with a Timid Nature. So the 136 speed with the Timid Nature, that allows us to outspeed Landorus Incarnate by 1 or 2 points. I think, yeah, by 1 point I think it is. Excuse me. Fuck. I don't know why I'm yawning so much. And the Spadef prevents a KO from Sludge Wave on Zygarde after Rocks. If he's still running like Adamant or Jolly. If he's running like a non-special attack lowering nature, then we will more than likely die. But I think he needs the extra attack. I don't think he can sacrifice too much in his defenses. That's my personal thought process, but that's just me. The special defense also prevents a 2 KO from Landorus' Earth Power, so that's pretty cool. We can switch it on that pretty easily, and hope that he doesn't have Sludge Wave. We have the Defog, because obviously he's the ground team, and like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 of his members can set up rocks. And then we also have Diggersby that can set spikes. So having Defog could be very important in this game. We don't need that extra chip damage coming on us, especially because we do have 2 mons that are weak to rocks. Potential spoilers if you remember all of the mons in our team. Yeah, Swab is just here to, come in, take some hits. It's You know, meant to be a bulky grass type to deal with these earthquakes and such. But also, we have the Giga Drain, which will hit a lot of members super effectively. About half of them, you know, neutrally, but even still, it'll give us some nice recovery. Moonblast is here for the Zygarde and the Mega Garchomp, as well as the Mandibuzz. He gives us something to smack that as hard as we possibly can. It's not great because we couldn't really afford to run a lot of special attack on this thing, but hopefully this will be good enough. Hopefully this will be effective enough. But basically the goal is just to be able to live hits and chip his team down for our last two members to be able to come in and wreck shop, hopefully. And one of those last two members is Endme the Arctovish, making its debut this week. We have the Choice Scarf Arctovish, Water Absorb for the ability. Gives us a nice immunity against Gastro's Scalds if he wants to click Scald, which I don't know why he would click Scald against us, but whatever. I mean, it's not like our other abilities are any better, let's be real. Choice Scarf with Freeze Dry, Vicious Rend, Icicle Crash, and Surf. Basically, the whole purpose of this thing is damage. And we brought this solely because of Gastrodon. Because Freeze Dry nukes Gastro completely. And that's important. Plus, we're an Ice type, and he has 4 times weaknesses to Ice. And obviously everything on his team, aside from Coco, is weak to this Mon. In some way, shape, or form. So, basically Arctovish can just click Vicious Rend on switches and kill things. If Gastrodon's still alive, we can click Freeze Dry and just OHKO the Gastrodon immediately and not care, which is very much important. Because Gastrodon is such a problem for our team that once that thing's gone, it opens so many doors. We can flip turn, we can wish and flip turn freely with Vaporeon. We can freely click our water moves, which nothing on his team wants to come in on at that point, especially even Coco, because one, if we have Rain Up, it's going to hurt a lot. Two, it doesn't appreciate being burned if he brings a special or a physical set. It's just as simple as that. The speed here is to allow us to outspeed anything that's not Scarfed from Landorus and below. And we're basically running a mix set so we can take advantage of Vicious Rend. Because potentially rain boosted Vicious Rend is just gross. Even with just 32 attack investment, like, we're gonna 2-hit KO pretty much whatever we want to. There's really not much they can do about that. So this will also be a good thing to hold on to see, like, if we go for moves and he brings something in, we can kind of use it to scout for Scarf on things as well. And if we've already taken care of Gastrodon, this thing can completely be let go. I'm not super stressed about keeping it around. And we can use it again to test for Scarfs. So we'll just keep clicking attacks, and if something outspeeds us, yeah, that's obviously not Coco, we'll know that it's Scarfed, and we'll know how to handle it appropriately from there. The last one we're bringing this week is our final debut for this week, and that is going to be Ghidorah the Hydreigon. I believe that's what I called it in this season. I don't remember the name I gave it. We have Ghidorah here. Choice Specs, Hydreigon. Dark Pulse, Draco Meteor, Surf, and U-Turn. Enough speed to outpace a max speed Jolly Zygarde. Max special attack, obviously, because we want to hit as hard as we possibly can. And then we have just threw the rest into HP. Pretty much Dark Pulse and Draco Meteor are really good clicks against, like, everything. Like, nothing really wants to take those. From Specs Hydreigon, it just kind of nukes things on his team pretty easily. As for the Surf, it's pretty straightforward. We have Surf because we are going to be trying to keep Rain up, and that gives us a Choice Specs boosted water move to click, and Coco could normally come in on this thing pretty easily. Mandibuzz too, but we're going to try to keep Mandibuzz chipped down pretty effectively. That's pretty much the goal, is to keep Mandibuzz as chipped down as possible. yeah, nothing really wants to take a Choice Spec Star from Hydreigon, so yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how this works out. This matchup's a lot more difficult than I expected it to be going into it. Like, as soon as I saw the team in prep, I was like, oh, hey, this is going to suck. I actually originally had, I believe I had Manaphy in the last slot, like a Wakanberry set with, like, Tail Glow or something, to try to, like, set up a Tail Glow on something else, have Coco come in, and then be able to, like, eat an electric move or something and hit it back really hard. But, like, then he has things like Dugtrio that can just come in immediately afterwards and KO us, and things like Landorus that just naturally outspeed, that can KO us as well. So it was just kind of like, the risk really, like, I just kind of felt like it didn't do enough in the matchup. It felt like it was too easy for them to take down, that I just deemed it to not be excuse me, worth the bring. Yeah, this is a really, really difficult match to prep for. Hopefully it will work out well. You will see the battle tomorrow, so hopefully it does work out. But that's going to be all for now. If you guys have enjoyed, make sure to leave a like down below and subscribe if you have not already. And until next time, I am PokePrimer, signing off. Peace.